Hey, what's going on, everybody? They're back 47 here. Just kind of going to do a quick walk around of the airplane, just kind of let everybody know where I stand with the project. I put a video out a couple days ago, but it was just kind of like a brief overview when I was in the middle of the stream. And we'll just do another walk around. Right now, I'm fixing to do the forward landing gear, and everything looks like it's set up pretty good. I was able to get my measurement from the top of this piece of angle, this aluminum, down to the center of the spindle. And as stated and instructed by the prints, I was able to get my forward cant exactly where it needs to be. And I put a level on that too, so that's everything straight, true level. Looking really good with that. The aircraft is completely level. Level in this direction, level in the other axis as well. It's kind of weird how I did this. I couldn't really clamp this piece of angle on the bottom of the airplane real good, so I just put a piece of strap around it. And this thing's just real light. I mean, I can actually kind of push this around if I need to, so it's barely touching. It's not like it's blowing it up or anything. But yeah, this aircraft's completely level, so I think we're good to start drilling holes on the landing gear. I'm gonna use these bits right here. When I drilled the titanium tail wheel out, it was a really challenging using just a regular DeWalt drill bit. So I found these Stinger bits at Lowe's, and it says they're good for like stainless steel and different kinds of alloys. And that's what I finished drilling the rest of the way through the tail wheel, and it cut through that titanium like butter. So I'm hoping this won't fight me too bad. But what I didn't show on the last video is I got all the ailerons done. I got the left side flap done. I still got to do the right one yet. And I got both ailerons all set, riveted up, test fitted. Everything's working as it should. I'm going to wait to put the counterweight on until I'm decided if I want to paint this or if I want to just vinyl wrap it or if I want to polish it. I haven't really decided what I want to do yet for the airplane. And it says in the prints, don't balance these ailerons until you get paint on it, because you're adding weight. So you want to balance it to what it's going to be if it were to be painted. So I'm just going to hold off on that. But moving over here to the wings, I was able to get the hinge pins on both the aileron side and the flap side. This is the flap side. The ailerons went up on top, and I test fitted on the left wing with both the left and right aileron to put it on this like a little set of workhorses here, and got out all done. Everything fits beautiful, everything's working beautiful, so that's a good sign with that. I got my linkage done, all the linkage done, all of my cables are run with the rudder paters and whatnot, and everything's again working as it should. Now I want to kind of clarify this up, what Sonex came up with a fix. If you remember a couple videos back, I had a really nasty bulge right here, and I couldn't get full deflection out of my forward controls. So what Sonex came up with, and it was actually a really good idea, is we went with a next size up hinge. We went from, I can't remember what it was, from the 2 to the 3, like the P2 to the P3 or the P3 to the P4, whatever it was. We went with a next size wider flange, and I test fitted everything. I got it laid down on there, marked it, and then what we did is we cut this back this way along the original rivet line, and as you can see, it looks virtually seamless. So that just turned out really well, and I'm able to get full deflection out of the flight controls without it bulging up and without it interfering. So that was a really good fix by Sonex. I could have cut these out. I mean, I could have done that, but I just didn't really want to go that route if I didn't have to. Besides, this was a part that Sonex made, so I wanted to see if they could come up with a solution, and they did. Their customer service is absolutely phenomenal. It fixed the problem, and it looks beautiful. So that was the solution. We just trimmed this edge back, you know, that 1/2 inch, that 9/16, whatever it was, along the original rivet line, went with a wider flange, and then I just drilled my next set of holes along a new rivet line, and it just laid out perfectly. But the tail's working good, everything's working good. Rudders are all set. Yeah, just really ready now to kind of put this landing gear on. I'm a little intimidated by this because that titanium drills really hard. So if anybody has any suggestions at all when it comes to like bits for drilling through this stuff, I'm all ears, because as far as I can tell and what's available to me right now, these Stinger bits seem to be the only thing that's really doing it well. And you got to keep oil on them because they do overheat like really quick. But I think what I want to do is I want to get the hole started on the aircraft, then take the legs off and put them on the drill press and finish drilling them that way. I think it'll just go a little bit more smoother. That way you're not kind of jacking up this little spout or whatever it is that you want to call it. But yeah, right now she's coming along really good, guys. She's looking great. A couple things that I did have to do though is this push rod wasn't really lining up that great with a hole. It is actually kind of binding right here, so I had to take a file, get in there, true that edge up, and I still have to go a little bit further with it, but for the most part I'm pretty happy with it. The other thing I got to do is I got to finish tying in these hinge pins on the rudder vaders. I already got the one set on the rudder itself, but it's calling in the prints just to take this angle right here and bend it down. And that just, I don't know, it doesn't seem to me like that's really holding anything. If anybody has any suggestions of what I can do here, maybe just to keep these hinge pins either tied together right here. I was thinking maybe drill a hole and put a plate across, bend this at a 90 and maybe make a keeper plate. I don't know exactly what I want to do there, but I'm definitely open to suggestions there. But I think that would have worked. Take like a 3/8 piece of aluminum strip or anything, drill and tap some holes. Doesn't even have to be really big, just a couple 832s or something like that, or what have you. I mean, there's a gazillion different things you could do. You could rivet it, you could do whatever you want, then just bend these down as a 90 to follow that edge down and just keep that little keeper plate in there. I want to put like a screw in there so I can actually remove it, but it's got to stay. I mean, that's obviously something that can't vibrate loose. So I'm just kind of, haven't really decided what I want to do there yet. But the prints just call, just bend that down at an angle and you're good to go. I'm like, okay, you know. The ailerons, they actually have you put a pin through, and I haven't drilled that hole yet, but they have you put a pin through with a counter pin, and that actually holds it. So I don't know, I'm almost tempted to do the same thing over here. I just don't know. But then, you know, if you were to do that, you wouldn't really be able to get the pin out either. There's no really of kind of drilling it out from the top side. So I'm kind of just interested to see what other people are doing right there. If they're just bending it down like they say in the prints and leaving it and it's good, then hey, it's good. But all my linkages are looking really great. Everything lined up. This side, I didn't have to straighten that out or file that back at all. And that just lined up really nicely. But it just be like that sometimes. You're gonna have a little bit of fitting. The other thing I had to do with this mixer, it's hard to just kind of operate it by hand. As you can see, those cables kind of fluctuate a little bit in there in elevation, and it was rubbing on that hole. So I had to get in there with a file, work them out a little bit, and I had to do the same thing on top right here because it was also rubbing and squeaking up on top of these holes where it goes through. So I just took a file. I didn't even take a Dremel or nothing, just got in there with a file and got the clearance I need so it's no longer rubbing. But the mixer's all installed, looks great. I mean, I'm really happy so far with the way this project's going. The forward landing gear is a little intimidating, but I think we're okay the way it's set up. I got my forward cant and I put a level on this edge. That's all level and good to go. They say on the prints they want this length from here to there. I believe it was 16 inches and 43/64. If you measure that correctly, this sticks out about that far. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drive it down flush. It sticks out about 1.5 inches. I just drove it down flush and I'm gonna leave it. They're the same length on each side. I measured it, and I just rather buy myself that 1.5 inch worth of ground clearance right there, because I am running the 6-inch tail wheel. I think Gavin did this and a couple other builders online, just kind of went flush with the motor mount, and that's just what I'm gonna do. Right, wrong, or indifferent, we'll know when we fly the airplane, but I don't really see how that inch, making this whole landing gear 1.5 inches shorter, is really gonna make all that much of a difference. But after I get the wheels installed, then it's brakes, wheel bearings, all that stuff like that. For now, I just got the smaller size wheels. It's kind of what came with the aircraft, but eventually I'm going to upgrade to the bigger ones. On a tail dragger, you'll take any extra ground clearance that you can get, and I'd rather have a wider tire anyway, so eventually I'm going to upgrade to the wider wheels. But she's coming along. It's slow and steady. It's no race, not in any hurry. We're just getting it done one part at a time, one bolt at a time. But again, my name is Airback47, and this is my Sonex, man. Coming along pretty good, so we're building it. All right, guys, see you in the next one.